get a good angle for you guys. Let's see, I'm going to be working on this piece here. If I can set the camera up. So I have a few questions over from Instagram. And if you're new here, my name is Sarah and I run Furniture Flip by Sarah. I get asked a lot what I use to top coat over like a chalk paint. So for this piece here, I've used Fusion Mineral Paint in the color Ash. It is a super popular dark gray. And I'm gonna go ahead and use my polyurethane in a satin finish. This is my favorite poly to use. And I'm going to be using a foam brush similar to a sponge to apply this. And then I'm going to be answering a few of your questions. So if you watched our last live, I actually started priming this piece and painting it, but now I'm ready to top coat it. And I thought I would share that with you guys because I do get asked that quite a bit. So I'm going to go ahead and use this foam brush here. And I'm just going to be working right out of my can of poly. I have a few different size brushes to get in around different angles. I'm going to push this back a bit so you guys can kind of get a better view. See if that works a bit better. And the sides of this piece, you guys can see, are stained. I used a weathered wheat, I believe is the name of the stain. I can put it in the description down below once this is done being live. So I'm going to start top coating this side here. So this poly can be used on stain, paint, either one. So I don't need to worry about taping this off because both sides are going to be top coated in the same top coat. So I'm going to go ahead and just mix it up and start top coating this piece. And it goes on a little bit milky when you're first using it, but it's going to dry clear. And then I have a few questions from Instagram. I left a question box there, so I'm going to be answering your questions as well. Okay, so I'm going to see our first question over from Instagram. So the first question is, what's your favorite paint? So recently I've discovered Benjamin Moore, the Advanced line, and I love their paint. It levels out. I've been using it for quite a few months now, almost a year, and I really do love it. But Fusion Mineral Paint is also just as good. It depends really what I'm working on. I will switch between the two. Depending on what kind of look I want, what top coat I want to use. Because I was doing the combination of wood and paint with this piece here, it was easier for me to just poly the whole thing. And that's why I decided to use Fusion Mineral Paint for this. And I did prime it. I did the same steps I would with Benjamin Moore. But the good thing about Benjamin Moore is that it has a built-in top coat. You can pick your finish. There's matte, pearl, semi-gloss, gloss. It is meant for kitchen cabinets or cabinetry, and that's why I love using it when we paint kitchens. So I'm just going to go ahead and start top coating the top here, and then I'll get to the front. And if you're wondering the piece in the background, I am currently working on a video for that. So if you are new, don't forget to subscribe, and that video will be posted hopefully on Sunday, if not early next week. And I'm going to be finishing that up. I am going to be asking you guys actually for this piece over here to leave me your color recommendations. I'm not too sure what color I want to paint it yet. Okay. I'm just going to grab a little mixer. I'm just going to mix this up a little bit. And if you guys have any questions for me, make sure to just leave them in the live chat and I will answer them. So the next question over on Instagram was, what's your favorite color to work with / furniture style? So I love mid-century furniture. I've always loved the style of it, the clean lines. Even this piece in the background here, it looks a little bit funky with the top part on it, but I love simple lines, like I said, so mid-century for sure. I do love some more traditional style pieces. I love like arches if a piece has like arched doors, and I do really love kind of like the retro 70s, 80s kind of style. So these radio cabinets are right up my alley. I'm just going to kind of angle it a bit so I can get the other side there. Kind of show you guys exactly how I'm applying this. I'm just brushing it on. Again, I'm using this for the whole piece. Paint and stain can go over, and I will probably end up doing 2 to 3 coats. I did start top coating this piece the other day, but there was a few areas I had to touch up, so I'll probably do 2 more coats. I find wood, when you're staining it, needs a couple more coats just because the wood soaks it right up, where the paint doesn't absorb it as much. And then I'm going to continue using this larger brush for the side pieces here. And again, I am using this satin finish for this polyurethane. Get the bottom. And these sponges, and as well as the poly, if you guys missed that, I picked up both at my local Home Hardware. I'm also going to be polying the inside of this cabinet. So if you missed our last live, it opens from the top here. So there's no actual radio, it's been ripped out because it wasn't working. So here is now storage, and I thought this would be good for cups, bottles, if you have like a little mini bar. So I am polying that. If cups or anything are scratching, I want that to be super durable. Just notice some drips here that I'm going to get. So I will be polying the inside as well, and just do this little area here. And then the bottom opens like this. So there's a ton of storage in there. You could even do some custom wine glass storage. You can do the hooks from Amazon. I believe they're like $25, and you could screw it into the bottom here and then hang your wine glasses. That was something I was thinking we could add to this piece, and I mean we still could. So to top coat this area here, I'm going to use a smaller brush to get into all those little nooks. And again, if you guys have any questions, don't forget to leave them in the live chat. I'll see if I can, have them up. There they are. So another question was, what's your best piece of advice for somebody who's starting out? And if you're just starting to flip furniture or start your business, sorry, I'm just adjusting the camera angle. Just go for it. Start, get your brand, your business name out there. Start showing people what you can do, and kind of people will come to you, like depending on your style and everything, people are going to start to see that and they're going to like that. And they're going to follow you from there. But as long as you're genuine and you're doing good quality pieces, people are going to start to notice that and reach out to you. But just be consistent with your pieces, kind of create your own style. There's so many people who paint furniture, but there's enough customers for everybody. So make sure to just kind of find your niche within the furniture community, and you'll be good to go. So I'm just gonna grab that other brush. So I keep all of mine in this little container here. You can see I have quite the variety, but I'm gonna be using this one here to do the front panels. Okay, so let's see. Again, I'm just working right out of the can. You could pour this into a smaller container, but I like working right out of this because I can fit my largest brush in there and just wipe off the excess. So I'm just gonna go in here like this and then wipe it back. Yeah. This one already does have one coat on this area here, so you can kind of already see that satin finish. I'm gonna add some more to this piece here. Again, this will go on kind of milky but dry clear, but you just want to make sure you don't have any drips when you're using this paint, or sorry, this top coat, because they won't dry clear. They'll dry like milky kind of. So you want to make sure you're getting all the excess top coat. Okay. And another question over from Instagram. I just wrote down all the questions here so I could answer them for you guys. So the next question is, what sanders do you use? So I have two sanders that I love to use. I have my DeWalt orbital sander that I got from Home Depot. I believe it's around $100 Canadian. And I love that sander. I've had quite a few of them because I use it to the point where it stops working, but they're great for the price. They do last quite a while. And I order sandpaper from Amazon for that. You can get it really anywhere, but Amazon is great because it comes super fast. And that would be good for stripping pieces. If you want to do like a wood finish like we did on the sides here, you're going to want to use your orbital sander to get all of the old original finish off. And then for detail sanding, I recently purchased a Surf Prep sander, and it is the 3 and 4 inch, I believe, and it's a detail sander, so that is more pricey. I think American it's like $500-600. And if you are in Canada and you're thinking of getting it, when you do order your sandpaper, keep in mind you do have to pay duties and all those extra fees. But I love my DeWalt, I love my Surf Prep sander. I mean, I wouldn't be able to do some of the finishes without it. It saves so much time and it is worth every penny. But that is more for like detailed areas. So if I were to be like scuff sanding a piece, I could do that super fast, 5 to 10 minutes done. If I'm doing detail sanding and I were to be sanding in between all these little grooves here, it gets right in there. There's a bunch of different sandpapers and different pieces for it, so it's really versatile. So I recently purchased that and I've been loving it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do a bit more top coat over here. I'm just gonna close the blind because I think the sun is shining. There we go. So I'm just getting in between all these little crevices. And as you can see, I didn't put anything in behind here, so this is all open, so it was really easy for me to paint in here. I'm still kind of debating whether or not I should, because I think it looks really nice, but when you start to put items in there, if you're using it to hide pieces and you don't want to see your storage, then you would probably want that covered. So I could end up even doing a piece of wood, kind of staying the same, or fabric. If you have a preference or an idea for me, let me know what you think I should put in behind here, or if I should just leave it open. I'm kind of debating what I should do with it, but if you guys have any ideas, definitely let me know in the comments, or in the live chat. So a little bit of history on this piece. I did prime it with a shellac-based primer. So if you were to be using this top coat and you didn't shellac your piece with primer before you went ahead and painted it, the poly doesn't cause yellowing, but it will yellow because it brings out pieces like from, let's say you use a cleaning product on this piece, and then you went ahead, you cleaned it, you painted it, and you went ahead and polyed it. The poly is going to kind of soak into the wood and bring those oils, the products, and harsh chemicals forward, and it's going to show yellow. If you did a white piece, it would show yellow. On darker colors, it comes up kind of green. So you do want to make sure you take the proper steps to prepping your piece to avoid that. Sometimes multiple coats need to be done. Like this piece over here, I've sanded and primed it. You can see on the inside here. And I used a shellac-based primer, and in some areas it's still bleeding through, so I'm gonna have to go back and do a third coat. So that's just kind of for reference there. This was like the second step I did, and then I would paint. I think I have another question to answer over from Instagram. So, do you sand in between coats? So this question is asking when I'm painting a piece, if I prime it and then I'm painting it, maybe 3 coats, do I sand in between? So when I prime a piece, I sand after. So before I do any paint, I sand it down nice and smooth. Especially with the shellac-based primer, I find it sometimes can be very textured. So I wanted to use even like a 400 grit, something super smooth. That's just going to get any little bumps or anything that even got in the primer and just make sure that it's ready to be painted. So in between coats, not necessarily. So let's say I were to paint a piece and I noticed there was a few bumps or it just didn't look super smooth, then I would go ahead and sand in between coats, but usually you don't need to do that. I mean, when I'm painting, I find I don't need to, but if you're just starting out and you haven't really gotten the hang of it and it's not looking super smooth, go ahead. I think it's even sometimes recommended to do that, but personally, I don't do it all the time, only if it's necessary. Okay, I think I am almost done top coating this piece. I'm just going to do this part here and then the edge. And then I'll let it dry. I believe the dry time for this is 2 hours until you can recoat. And again, I'm using Fusion Mineral Paint in the color Ash. If you're wondering where you could pick this paint up, I believe if you go to the Fusion Mineral Paint website, they have all their retailers there. You can't get it at like your local Home Hardware, Home Depot, anything like that. They only sell to smaller, more local shops. So sometimes it can be hard to get, but there are plenty of stores all over the world, so you should be able to find it. If not, it might even be on Amazon. You can really just type it in on Google, and I'm sure you can find some near you. So I'm just top coating right over top of these knobs as well. These were just added to kind of help the look, make it look like the radio is still there. I'm going to put it right over this wood here. Just really blend everything in. And I will be posting this piece on our Instagram page, and it actually will be available for sale. So if you do stumble across this video, make sure you go over to our website or our Instagram page, and you can see the final photos there and all the details if you want to purchase it. So I think I just need to kind of get that edge there. Come around. Still using this same brush. I believe this is a 1.5 or a 1 inch. And it gets right in these little crevice areas perfectly. And this top coat is also, not only does it look good, but it's also super durable, which I love. Especially when you're doing pieces for clients or for sale, you want to make sure that they're super durable so you can sleep at night knowing you gave your client or your customer a really well done piece that's going to hold up for years to come. And if you would like to leave me your question prior to going live, make sure you head over to our Instagram and you guys can leave your questions there. I'm just going over and getting all like the little drips that I couldn't see from that angle. Making sure everything's smoothed out. Because again, those areas will dry like more white, kind of milky. But if you make sure to smooth everything out, you should be good to go. Okay, I think I am done my first coat for this piece. Sorry if that kind of froze there. I think I am done my first coat for this piece. So I'm going to go ahead and let that dry for about 2 hours, and I'm going to go ahead and recoat. And I will also do another coat to the inside. But thank you guys so much for watching today's live video. Don't forget to check out our Instagram over at FurnitureFlipBySarah. And don't forget to check out our next YouTube video on this cabinet. I think I'm going to add some nice legs to it as well. So that should be pretty interesting to see. But I'll catch you guys next time. Bye!